Don't expect to survive more than a few hits from enemies. If you have like, if you have like lower than like what 100 and 150 defense points. Dude, this chair needs to be fixed. Oh guys, I got it done. See, the nacelle is white, like me. Well, I'd almost be whiter than this. I'm like pale as a freaking ghost. Wait, does this switch? Like, yeah. Oh crap, it's hitting the fan blades. Don't hit the fan blades! Yeah. That took me hours to build. I was up to like 1 building it, and I took from to like 1 o'clock to build that. It took me like what 4 hours to build the box of the wind turbine. Why am I blurry? There we go. Okay, so we need to go back up and speak to Maxon. Our game crashed last night, and after the words I said no. I'm just gonna hang out. Oh wait, my cousin's back. We're also in a very bad predicament. We need more ammo. Like, a lot more ammo. I wanted to listen to the Junk of Fallout 4, or Junk of Fallout. I was beginning to listen to that and I didn't know.
I prefer laser weapons myself. It's a cleaner shot. And leaves that memory.
Red King's the Junk of Fallout.
Cans are made
The trash of Fallout. I love this.
My fellow children of Adam, I have a very special sermon that some of you have been asking for over the year of 2023. I made an April Fool's joke where I said I was going to go over the trash of the Fallout series, and halfway through inspecting a piece of literal in-game garbage, I did a little switcheroo to talk about my least favorite parts of the Fallout series. What I consider to be the trash of the Fallout games. Well, a weirdly high number of people really did want me to look at the garbage and junk of Fallout, and when I asked my patrons and YouTube members what they wanted me to do for a special request video, they wanted the junk of Fallout. Adam, damn me, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I can't believe you're watching this. Maybe this is retribution for my fleeting interest in Hapology. So, crank up the rads, and let's look at garbage from the Fallout series. I started my April Fool's video off with an old and nasty burger box, so that's where we're starting this video.
Nothing really to comment. It's a burger box.
For those of you without eyeballs, this is a Nuka-Cola branded burger box that was added with the Nuka World DLC. They are only found in Nuka World in trash cans and laying on tables, with dozens found between all the parks. They are only useful for crafting and can be broken down into cloth and are worth only 1 cap, but weigh an entire pound. They are also present in Fallout 76, mostly in the amusement parks like Camden and Wavy Willard's Water Park.
Yeah, I find those little boxes everywhere.
Fallout 4, minus the branding. In Fallout 4 and 76, this item can be loaded into a junk jet and fired with deadly effect at enemies. Most items I will discuss can be loaded into the junk jet, or the Fallout 3 equivalent weapon called the Rock IT launcher, so I will only mention items that can't be used as ammo for these weapons since they are the exception. That said, a simple white styrofoam burger box is shown in Fallout 3, but it's not lootable and therefore not usable as ammo with the rocket launcher. Let's keep going down this riveting list of food-related garbage. Nuka World and Fallout 76 also have hot dog trays, and in Nuka World they have Nuka-Cola branding. They are scattered around the Nuka World parks, often in piles of refuse, and in various Appalachian amusement parks. There are more of these than there are burger trays, so people perhaps preferred hot dogs to burgers, and they can be broken down into cloth as well. Just like the burger box, it inexplicably weighs 1 pound and is worth 1 cap. Ugh, this is gonna be a long video. If you found the hot dog tray fascinating, you will be ecstatic to hear about the pizza trays. The triangle-shaped, single-slice trays were introduced in Nuka World, and this time they don't have a Nuka-Cola logo. The total numbers of the pizza trays are greater than hamburgers, but fewer than hot dogs. Just like the others, it's exactly the same as in Fallout 76, where it is found in the amusement parks, fairgrounds, the dirt track, etc. This is yet again worth 1 cap and weighs a full pound, and can be scrapped for cloth. A non-Nuka-Cola related item is the popcorn bucket, which is striped red and white and only found in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Fascinating. It cannot be put into the player's inventory, so it cannot be used as a rocket launcher. The most real item in this whole list is the empty hypodermic needle.
What the hell? Why would you have
that can be found in several places,
I wouldn't pick
like
those
Watergate
up.
Cities, as well as Fallout 2, where it first shows up. The highest concentration of this item is in that little dweeb Myron's desk at the stables, on the 3rd level in Vault 8, and in the Sharks Club in New Reno. By itself, it's not useful for anything, and has barely any value at 2 caps, but it can be turned into a stim pack with the help of Myron. There ain't no way I would trust turning some random empty syringe
No
in
kidding.
a casino enough to turn into a stim pack. Giving Myron an empty
No,
syringe,
thank you.
rock flower, and a Xander root, you will create a stim pack. And if you instead want a super stim pack, having an additional mute fruit
Sorry.
Nuka-Cola is all that is needed. Knowing that a super stim pack is basically just a normal stim pack with a Nuka-Cola makes just so much sense now that I think about it. Washington, D.C. couldn't be left out of the empty syringe craze, so we get a different looking one in Fallout 3. They are most often found in areas with medical supplies and equipment, in places like the Vault 101 Clinic and Fort Independence. An interesting note, Fort Independence has 2 syringes that are larger than any other in the game and look very similar to Med-X. I distinctly remember picking these up, thinking they were my beloved Med-X, only to have them be a stupid empty syringe. I'm not an addict, you're an addict, but I do wonder why they need such large ones. Empty syringes are completely useless, although they weigh 0.005 pounds, which is really specific, and can be resold for 8 caps. So it's
a big syringe.
To someone that wants hepatitis. In New Vegas, it has a
How big is the Med-X thing?
hypodermic needle in Fallout 2, where it can be used to create a stim pack. The recipe requires a Brock flower and Xander root, just like before, and an empty syringe, which, with a science skill of 70 or higher, can yield 1 stim at a workbench. Like in Fallout 3,
big.
they are often found in medical locations, although in New Vegas, most of the empty syringes seem to be related to chem use, with the highest concentrations found in the Jacobstown Lodge next to the men's bathroom, and another heap of them can be found at the Camp Golf House Resort. Yeah, let's just load those up with some stim pack juice and inject that straight into our veins.
And
Kind empty syringe is the
you are now enemies with the
Hydra
railroad.
syringe, and it is part of the medical mystery quest in New Vegas. The courier is enlisted to find out who is lifting medical supplies at Camp Fort
Sorry
Hill.
guys,
And
I only joined you for the ballistic weave.
this in the inventory of a soldier named Private Stone will be used as evidence that he's the culprit. It looks just like an empty syringe, but it has been used to inject Hydra, which I had always assumed was a chem that was taken orally. It has a value of 0 compared to the normal empty syringe, which has a value of 8, likely because it's a quest item. Or maybe injecting Hydra is just really stupid. Another uncommon chem-related piece of trash is the empty jet canister from Fallout 2. It is also used as evidence in the quest to find out who was responsible for the overdose of a man named Richard Wright. It is found in the bookcase in Richard Wright's room in the Wright estate, and it sets the player on the trail of the true murderer, who ends up being the Salvatores. The Salvatores are a crime family in New Reno who were trying to start a war between two rival families, the Wrights and the Mordinos. The empty canister has a value of 0 caps and weight of 0 as well, most likely because it's a quest item, but also who would want to reuse a poisoned jet inhaler? Actually, I take that back. In New Vegas, we have an empty jet inhaler item once again, and it is found in areas rife with chemu. With 5 around the chemist turned junkie Jacob Hoff, who lives in Freeside. It has 0 value and no weight, making it truly useless. Like my attempts to avoid making this video. So next up, you gotta be kidding me. Pocket lint?
Pocket
Seriously?
lint.
Pocket lint, much like in real life, has no purpose and has no value. It is a miscellaneous item in Fallout 2 that is only encountered when stealing or bartering with a few different NPCs, like Martin at Vault 8. Even the game itself isn't amused. The item description just says, some fuzz you found in a pocket. Fallout 3 graced our lives with paperweights.
Paperweights.
The game model looks exactly like whetstones, but unlike a whetstone, they're completely freaking useless, and as such is only worth 1 cap. What, are you telling me you need a paperweight to keep papers in place in your post-apocalyptic office? Unsurprisingly, they are mostly found in office buildings, but Crazy Wolfgang, the junk merchant, is the only merchant that will actually sell them. They are also
They address me as Paladin now.
enormous, far larger than anyone would actually want a paperweight. Same way and in similar locations, although they are no longer useful as ammo because of the lack of a rocket launcher. Newer games got the clue though, and dropped paperweights from the world altogether. Finally an interesting
Money!
Pre-war currency was first
Pre-war
introduced
money.
in the series in Fallout 3, where it is always depicted as a wad of bills bound with a band. The model used for Fallout 3 and New Vegas does not have enough detail to make out a whole lot.
Oh, I can make it out. It looks like $100,000.
We can see that the design resembles the Federal Reserve note
Yep, it does.
in our world in 1963. This is evidenced by the
He's actually
Federal
right.
seal.
The $1 silver certificate was issued back in the 20s, even earlier. But the reserve note, not the silver certificate, the reserve note was issued in the 63. He is correct there. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the design of the $1 bill is over 100 years old, but it was only used for the Federal Reserve note, not silver certificate, starting in 63. Anyway.
Which is the dark circle, and the green U.S. Treasury
Yep.
symbol, which usually is overlaying the bill's denomination. I can't determine the denomination here, but historically, the American Bank Association has used a blue cash strap for a bundle of 100 $1 bills.
Or 52s. He's actually not wrong. I do have old 100. I do have those old bands laying around. Look, I got a whole box of those. Like, see, look, this is what they look like in the actual Fallout, like New Vegas games. Look like that little blue bundle. I actually have a bunch of those. From searching $1 bill, hundreds of $1 bills. Actually, not hundreds of them. I've searched thousands of them. I'd go to the bank, I'd go get 1,000 ones, bring them back, search them, bring them. Those are exploding rounds.
This hardly matters in the post-war though, because in Fallout 3 it has no utility as a currency, but it has another secret power. Unlike nearly everything we have and will yet talk about, it is weightless and it is worth 10 caps per bundle. This makes it an easy way to earn caps as you roam and loot the wastes. If you don't care about caps, and instead want to be more charitable by giving away all your money, pre-war money is one of the 2 weightless items that can be used as ammunition in the rocket launcher. Don't say I never gave you nothing. It is said in game that the primary use for most wastelanders is to use the bundles of cash as kindling for fire.
That makes me sad.
That is why people are willing to pay 10 caps per bundle. Pre-war money is pretty commonly found in nearly all locations, but large amounts can be found at LOB Enterprises, or a Sea Cave and Point Lookout, and the Homestead Motel, just to name a few. In Fallout New Vegas, the pre-war money looks the same. It is still weightless, and it is still worth 10 caps, just like in Fallout 3. Since there is no rocket launcher, it can't be used as ammo, but it can be very useful in one specific area. In the Dead Money DLC, the Sierra Madre Casino will accept pre-war money as legal tender, and therefore Sierra Madre chips can be traded 1 chip for 1 stack of money. And given how the Sierra Madre chips are the only way to buy things from the wondrous and, frankly, magical Sierra Madre vending machines, it can be a cheap way to get the myriad of items that can be unlocked for the vending machines. This makes sense since in the pre-war, the casino would have been accepting pre-war money in exchange for chips for the patrons that wanted to gamble at the casino or use at the vending machines. Pre-war money is found all over, but the most can be found at the REPCON headquarters where 200 bundles can be found, and many can be found throughout the Lucky 38 as well, just to name a couple places. In Fallout 4 and 76, we have a different model for pre-war money, so now we actually can tell the denomination is $20, and the bills themselves resemble the so-called Technicolor Gold Certificate, which in our world is a very desirable thing for collectors.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I never heard of the technical color, but yes. The pre-war money featured in Fallout is a very well sought after $20 bill. In fact, I have it. My design looks similar, but it's not the very, very, very expensive diamond type. Oh crap! It's on top of my special money. It looks a lot like this. So you kind of see the money. Actually, you probably. I wonder if I have a piece. Get out of my way, dude. You can obviously see that the bills are hundreds. No, they're 20s actually. And of course, here's what he was referencing. Here's a 1928 series bill. So technically, because this bill was made before the Great War, this is canon. These bills do exist in Fallout, but unfortunately, it seems due to the inflation, they're probably all gone or destroyed, especially after the nukes dropped. As you can see, you can actually see that band right there, how it says United States of America. It's prevalent right there. You can probably see it on the bottom part of the bill. That is actually, you can see the red little circle and the red number. That's actually a reference of the red serial numbers. I unfortunately don't have a red seal. I have blue seal and lime seal and of course green seal. But you can actually see that at one point these were made with red seals on them. And you can see the serial numbers, 2 of them obviously. But yeah, pretty cool little topic. I love money collecting. And by that judgment, actually, I've never actually had a band of 20s. I've had hundreds of $20 bills from getting paid and exchanging money between banks, but I honestly I exchanged a lot of those bills. I'm trying to think of what I was saying, but I don't. Oh, yeah, right. I've never actually had a band of them. Like, I think they might come in thousands. I don't know what color their bands are though, because we don't know how our banking works. So we have different colored bands. For example, here's what you get. Here's what $1,000 in tens comes in as a yellow $1,000 band, or the ever so infamous and legendary status. Well, sadly, unfortunately, a lot of people, and yes, even me, I can't get this. I can't get my hands on it. But the legendary brown banded $100,000 band, which piece of money bands you can get.
Worth thousands of dollars.
Or no, 10,000 bands. This guy has 10 bands of $10,000. He's got $10,000. That is some pretty crispy ass hundreds, if you ask me. Those are some beautiful, well conditioned hundreds. Here's what a few of them look like. If I can actually. They look like they're $10,000 bands. Uncommon. Yeah, you would never get those from the small city. You have to go to cities in order to go find them. I've never actually seen one, but I can't wait till the day I can actually get one. I only have 1/5 of the amount of money required to get one.
Just to name a couple places. In Fallout 4 and 76, we get a different model for pre-war money, so now we actually can tell the denomination, which is $20, and the bills themselves resemble the so-called Technicolor Gold Certificate, which in our world is a very desirable bill for collectors, with well-preserved and highly graded specimens worth thousands of dollars.
No kidding.
Because this design is much older than the pre-war money in earlier Fallouts, since the $20 Technical Gold Certificate bill debuted in 1905 and was created at a time when the owner could claim the amount of gold that the bill was worth.
Yup.
For the bundles of cash.
That actually, he's not wrong. That's true. In fact, until 1963, when the Federal Reserve Note was released, the only use for paper currency was just go to your bank and, get your money in coin. Let me go get one. Back then, let's learn just this, right? Just a simple $10 banknote. Also, by the way, if you notice anything cool, in 1900 could buy you a shitload of things. Hell, like what's it called? Where is it? This would buy you a lot of things back in the 1900s. What? I think roughly from 1900, it was roughly currency was worth at least 20 times. I know that by 1950, it was a dollar currently today was like $10 in 1950 or 1960.
Eat caps, but are still waiting.
But by the way, if I took the amount of money I had right now in my bank account and I time traveled to the 1910s, I could buy a really nice car. Or 1920s, I could buy a really high-end car, with only 15 grand or no, 1.5 to $2,000. You could buy a pretty good car back then. Now we're so inflated that you'd have to get thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to even buy a pretty good car. This banknote's pretty special again. It's got the star note on it. It's got the star on it if you actually don't see. And its serial number is relatively low, but that's normal for star notes. The serial number is 500052810, which is actually pretty low. You know, do I have my other banknote that I got? I'm sorry. I love money so much.
Some crazy bird living in it, or something.
Sorry.
Who needs a haircut? Everyone needs a haircut. Step up.
Ooh, here's a fancy banknote. 599999299. Where's my really beloved banknote? I have a really nice $1 bill. Where is it? It's a pretty low serial number for a banknote. I got it from my restaurant. It's a really sweet banknote.
The latest hairstyle from Upper Stand.
Sorry, I had to find this. Make sure I didn't lose it. I have a bunch of $1 bills with 4 letters in a row.
Salon can give you the hair.
What is this thing? I don't think I should have lost it. If I did lose it, it shouldn't be way too hard to find. I think I didn't really spend it. I just told you at the time.
Got too much dirt in that hair? Get it trimmed. You won't regret it.
Everyone and anyone needs public occurrences.
Here's a pretty low banknote, 0020554, 20,000.
Scraps, you scat.
That's relatively low for a banknote. What if I banked it, like, in my safe? I'll find it, that way I make sure I know where it is, unless it's like right here. I have a bunch of Where's George bills. The Reserve Bank has...
Hey, who wants to look beautiful? Hairstyles across the Commonwealth.
The Institute spy on your home? Read the public to find out. To your copy of the public, we expose the truth behind the Institute.
Got too much dirt in that hair? Get it trimmed. You won't regret it.
You been to Good Neighbor? Friggin' hole. Ghouls and chemheads all over.
Sorry guys, it's a very special bill I have. I just want to make sure it is... Oh, that's the old one. 1963. Okay, old ones. Huh, small one. I don't have them consolidated with my other
Latest hairstyle.
bills. Here's a pretty old one. They don't look that much different because there's a law in place currently that prevents $1 bills from actually changing design. Here's a nice one, not that different. 1963B series of $1 banknote. Again, there will never be a new $1 design, and that's because of law. Yes, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. You're getting put into a sleeve. This is one of my top favorite banknotes. I'm sorry. I just love showing people things. You're getting the sleeve treatment because I love this bill, dude. I imagine there's one more zero on the end of this. This is a pretty cool one. 00004636. 4,636. Today, this is my lowest serial number of banknote I've ever collected from the United States currency chain. That is very low. If it was one more zero in front of that, like 000636, only 600. Once you go below, like, if you go like to like anything between 1 and 9999, that's where it starts to get interesting. When you get to the hundreds, that's where things get even more interesting. Yeah, this is my low serial number banknote. I found it in a jar of tips. I'm like, can I trade? And you're like, oh yeah, sure. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, yeah, I cannot let that $1 note just get spent loosely out into the public because that's a beautiful low mintage or low serial number. It's a 17A. Yeah, prior to that bill, I've never seen anything that low. And this $10 this $10 star note right here at 52,000 is also pretty low on the amount of on the serial numbers. Furthermore, very good tip. It's rare, very, very rare. If you get your hands on a banknote and the serial number is like between 1 and like 9, where it's only like, whereas 7 zeros in front of it, and there's one number at the end, that is a very rare banknote. And the closer to 1 you get, as Socrates. And it's at Army of Decapolis. Anyway, yeah, like what? Sorry, man. Dude, I didn't know Deacon would attack me. Man, I didn't really put that into consideration, although I should have. Sorry, Deacon. I need shoddy shells. Sorry, old friend. It had to be like this.
So it remains a good way to earn some caps easily. However, since the introduction of crafting and scrapping junk, pre-war cash can be scrapped and turned into cloth. Depending on exactly what material the bills are made of, this isn't that implausible, since the modern US so-called paper
is made of
money
75%
is actually made out
cotton
of
and 25%
75%
linen.
cotton and 25% linen,
Exactly.
which is a fabric made out of
True.
flax.
Fact.
There's a duffel bag near a bank that was in the process of being robbed when the bombs fell that contains 100 pieces of pre-war money, and another 100 can be found in a safe at Slocum's Joe corporate HQ. The most that can be obtained, though, is in Far Harbor during the quest Brain Dead, where the sole survivor is asked to solve a mystery involving a murder at Vault 118. Vault 118 houses a small group of pre-war elites who have all been preserved since the Great War in Robo-Brain chassis, and completing the quest and using a high barter skill to maximize the reward can result in as much as 1,270 bundles of pre-war money. That makes sense since the vault is isolated from the rest of the world, and as far as the dwellers know, that is still the desired form of currency. Plus, it's a bunch of rich actors, artists, and otherwise just rich people, so having an absurd amount of cash on hand is not out of the question. Once again, the in-game use of pre-war dollars as anything but cloth for crafting or something to trade for caps is very limited. However, pre-war dollars can be used in Nuka World to buy tokens at the Nukacade, which is the only way to play the games inside, or it can be used to buy a ticket to visit the Grandchester Mystery Mansion, which is a spooky historical attraction just outside of the park. Neither of these are entirely necessary, but it is great to see that some of the pre-war systems that are still online do require pre-war money. In Fallout 76, pre-war money looks the same as in Fallout 4, but it's missing its two biggest selling points. It is no longer weightless, coming in at 0.2 pounds per bundle, and it also has no cap value. Oh crap, guys, Todd is on to us!
I mean, $1, every bank note, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, hundreds, even 500s, 1,000s, 10,000s, and 100,000s. All those bills weigh 1 gram. But Rage, you just said 500. Those don't exist. Actually, yes, they do exist. 5s and 1,000s were printed very infrequently, and they were scrapped early on. 10,000, 100,000, like 100,000 bills do exist, and that is basically made because the banks want a very efficient way to transport money. And like back then, there was no electronics to wire, so like the reserves couldn't wire money to each other, so they used $100,000 bills to do it. However, because of our current stage of technology, the $100,000 bill is relatively useless, and since for all known examples, or most known examples of the $100,000 bill have been destroyed. Yeah, back then, you did not use this. You used these Morgan dollars. These are silver. It's what my grandpa gave me. 1884 O-Mint. It's one of the most well-recognizable coins. And trust me when I say your grandpa has it. It just does. If your grandpa is American, he has a $1 Morgan coin. That. Now today that coin won't get you a whole lot, but back then it could. And that coin is actually made of 90% silver. And actually it's in pretty good condition compared to a lot of silver coinage I see today. I feel like they definitely cheaped out on silver coins. Yeah, a lot of silver quarters I see are like worn down.
I find it interesting now with Fallout 76 being the earliest game in the timeline, there is no other way to use the pre-war money except for in crafting or as ammo for the junk jet. One would think it was more plausible that pre-war systems meant to accept US dollars would be online only 20-ish years after the Great War, and so currency would be more useful in Fallout 76, as opposed to close to 200 plus years for the rest of the games. And we're back to literal garbage. Democracy was a mistake. Empty bottles of various kinds are one of the most common junk items in the later Fallouts, starting with Fallout 3. They can be anything from empty Coca-Cola bottles to empty whiskey bottles, vodka bottles, etc. Basically, if there is a consumable in a bottle, there's usually an empty form of it littering the wasteland somewhere. All of the bottles in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, with few exceptions, weigh the same at 1 pound and only have a value of 1 cap. So empty bottles are not really worth lugging around in most of the games. The one thing all bottle types have in common is that they can be used as rocket launcher ammo, and amazingly, they never break on impact, meaning that the Fallout universe has secretly created the most robust and incredible kind of glass ever. Now, there are a few interesting notes about bottles in Fallout 3. There are empty Nuka-Cola bottles and so-called empty soda bottles. But the funny thing is that the empty soda bottles look exactly like the empty Nuka-Cola bottles, with the Nuka-Cola label and everything. What? One difference, however, is that the Nuka-Cola bottles are worth 1 cap extra, doubling its overall value. But that doesn't mean a lot. When the player consumes a Nuka-Cola in the game, the bottle disappears from the inventory, and the player keeps the cap, which only means one thing. The Lone Wanderer is an atom-damned litterer. We really should be losing some karma every time we drink a Nuka-Cola if we are leaving empty Nuka-Cola bottles just everywhere. Here are some highlights from the other bottles that can be found. The single location with the most empty whiskey bottles is Dukov's Place, which has a liver-crippling 183 whiskey bottles, nearly double the area with the next highest, which is the Satcom Array. At the Satcom Array, though, there are unique tiny versions of many bottles that are used as chess pieces that are found on a chessboard. Who said raiders can't be cultured? So-called large whiskey bottles, which are just Scotch bottles, are another type of bottle that weighs 2 pounds and is worth 5 caps, with the most being found at Tenpenny Tower. Why do they get all the large bottles? Is it not enough to have the tallest inhabited building too? Milk bottles can be found completely empty, or with what looks like milk or something that used to be milk inside, but it can never be consumed. It is like most bottles, weighs a pound, worth a cap, and the single place with the most bottles is the Super Duper Mart near Megaton. In New Vegas, empty Nuka-Cola bottles are exactly the same, except now they can be filled with purified water with the Old World Blues DLC. The sink, that is the washing basin and faucet that is inside of the sink, which is the living quarters that the courier can use in the DLC, why does that have to be so confusing? Can provide purified water and fill up any kind of bottle to make 1 purified water bottle. The location with the most Nuka-Cola bottles is Vault 3, with 3 times that of the next highest location, which is the RepCon test site. The empty soda bottles, weirdly enough, can be used to make home-brewed Nuka-Cola, but the Nuka-Cola bottles cannot. Okay? With the Honest Hearts add-on, adding a barrel cactus fruit, a bottle cap, an empty soda bottle, and a Nevada agave fruit together, that's all it takes to make a home-brewed Nuka-Cola. But there's just no way that should taste the same. Like every time that one uncle said that they were making root beer and just dumped a bunch of extract in some sugar water and dry ice, it's just not the same. One of the Nuka-Cola competitors, Sunset Sarsaparilla, has a huge number of empty bottles as well, and they are even more useful. With Honest Hearts, once again, home-brewed Sunset Sarsaparilla can be made with a bottle cap, an empty bottle, Nevada agave, and a Xander root. And there's just something inside me that actually wants to brew this recipe up for real. With the Lonesome Road DLC, Ulysses can give the courier the recipe for the bitter drink, which requires a Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle, but paradoxically, the drink is shown as being in some sort of fired clay container in-game. There are some different versions of this bottle. There is one that sinks rather than floats like all the other bottles, and not to get on a tangent, well, what the heck is up with floating empty glass bottles? Anyway, there is another Sunset bottle that cannot be picked up, a version that will break when shot at that is only used for the target practice portion of the tutorial, and lastly, a mini version that is locked behind a door in the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters. The area with the most empty Sunset Sarsaparilla bottles is, unsurprisingly, the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters with over 200 scattered about. The whiskey bottles have an actual use now in New Vegas, appearing the same and having the same weight and value as in Fallout 3. In Honest Hearts, it is a required component for the Wasteland Tequila, which just needs purified water, a bottle, and Nevada agave fruit. Cass, everyone's favorite functional alcoholic, will nearly always have an empty whiskey bottle in her inventory, and placing a full one in her inventory will result in her drinking it and it being replaced with an empty bottle. The location with the most empty whiskey bottles is the NCR Correctional Facility, where those powder gangers are apparently drinking up anything they can find. Alcohol and explosives. What could go wrong? The large whiskey bottle is still represented by a Scotch bottle and is used to create a large Wasteland Tequila, just like the normal whiskey bottle. But, you know, large. Once again, the NCR Correctional Facility is the location with the highest number of these bottles laying around. Milk bottles are the same as in Fallout 3, but like all other bottles, they can be used to create purified water at the sink in Old World Blues. And that's the only good use they have. Vault 3 has the most milk bottles of any area in New Vegas. Milk drinkers. In Fallout 4, the crafting of course makes a big difference in how these items can be used, but so does the new survival mode. All bottle types can be filled with water at a water pump to turn into a purified water, which turns whatever bottle it is into a normal plastic purified water bottle. The baby bottles come in 3 flavors, small, regular, and large, and they are all worth 8 caps. Bizarrely, the small and the large bottles both weigh 1 pound, while the regular weighs 0.5 pounds. Gotta love it when the regular sized one weighs less than the small one, and the small and large weigh the same. It just works.
Ooh, Subaru Outback. You know what's better than a Subaru Outback? Outback Wilderness. Seriously, turbocharged beasts.
Break down to glass and rubber, and Fallon's department store has the most baby bottles at just 4. The Nuka-Cola bottles got a complete redesign in Fallout 4, being made to look like a rocket now after a loading screen tells us some legal suits were filed by rival soda companies alleging the design seen in Fallout 3 in New Vegas was infringing on their designs. I think the new design is pretty cool, but they are otherwise unremarkable. In an absolute shock to 0 people, the single location with the most Nuka bottles is in the bottling plant in Nuka World, and the entirety of Nuka World has the most of any large area in the whole game. Fallout 4 has a so-called lab bottle that is basically invisible when inspecting it. It's worth only 1 cap and weighs less than a pound, with the most being found at the Greater Mass Blood Clinic. The milk bottle is now opaque, whereas it used to be clear, and now has an indiscernible logo on the front, but is worth only 1 cap while weighing 1 pound. I can make out one bit though. Apparently, all this milk was raw and not pasteurized. Yay, diarrhea! Covenant has the most of any location at 18. The rest of the bottles are all related to alcoholic beverages and constitute the vast majority of bottled junk in the Commonwealth. Beer bottles are hands down the most numerous of all the bottles in Fallout 4, and is one of the most common junk items, period. Over 1,800 bottles can be found, not including the ones that can spawn in random containers. Like all the other beverage bottles, they only break down into glass, weigh 0.5 pounds, and have a value of 2 caps, and the location with the single highest number is Kendall Hospital. I find that interesting. I would have thought one of the bars like the Shamrock Tap House or a brewery would have had more, but apparently
Same
not.
here.
The Gwinnett Ale bottles are notable for their label, which has a dead British soldier wearing their iconic red coat, which fits because it is called the Dead Red Coat Ale. It is otherwise identical to the other bottles, and the Hawthorne residence has the highest number of these bottles, a specific taste for one of the more affluent families in Diamond City, who are probably able to pay the higher price a niche drink would demand. The Gwinnett Brew bottle has a portrait of Button Gwinnett and is called the Bunker Hill Brew, and Beantown Brewery has the most bottles of any area, and it's not even close. At the brewery, a bunch have been set up like bowling pins with a bowling ball, and of course I had to give it a shot. The Gwinnett Lager bottle has a close-up portrait of Button Gwinnett, and most bottles can be found at the brewery again. The Gwinnett Pale Ale bottle is similar to the
There's a lot of
Lager bottle,
Gwinnetts.
but there are fewer of these with 10 bottles in and around the brewery. The Gwinnett Pilsner bottle has a similar label as the other two, is worth 3 caps, and is mostly found around the brewery. The Gwinnett Stout bottle is the last of the group, with a similar label to the others, and mostly being found at the brewery once again. A plain brown liquor bottle can be found and isn't all that common, but the most can be found at the raider-infested Andrew Station. Bourbon is an uncommon drink to find, but 5 bottles can be found in the Park Street Station, which is the most of any location. The brown bottle looks just like the beer bottle and has all the same stats, but is far less common, with the most being
Brownie bottle, it's really creative.
At only 6. There is an even rarer white bottle that has the same
Huh.
stats, with the most being at Gunner's
Useless
Plaza.
fact, did not need to know that,
The
but
burgundy bottle is worth
not
more
bad, I like that.
bottles at 5. State Insane Asylum.
It's called The Trash of Fallout by Grad King. He just dropped it like yesterday.
Has the most of any location with
All I see is nice source of glass for windows in settlement building.
Than most other bottles for a total of 4.
We're marching over to the
More bottles
HQ.
than any other location, which is the first time a vault has been mentioned. Whiskey bottles provide 4 more glass than vodka, and more can be found
Why?
at Caroline
It
Hill
looks the
Estate
same
than
size.
anywhere else.
This video makes me want to start a junk museum. I'm just gonna gather every piece of junk in the game, at least one of every example, and put it.
Only in the castle. In the tunnel.
I know there's like one of a kind junk piece, and
which is a reference
what was
to
it?
a short story, The Cask of Amontillado, by Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, I love that. I love the Cask of Amontillado. It's actually pretty cool, and it's dark. This guy basically lures his rich friend. These 2 rich dudes. This one is a jester, and the one who's more professionally dressed. He lures this guy down in his catacombs while he's all drunk. And then after he does that, he chains him to a wall and proceeds to seal him in a chamber with bricks. Like, either dude just takes up bricks and just bricks up the entire wall and seals him in and lets him starve to death. And it's actually a reference to this one scenario that happened a long time ago when the country was very new. This general was there's this new guy who came into the army, right? And he was really, really beloved, and then the general had him killed. Like, I'm very, very, very oversimplifying things, but the general had him killed. And the army dudes were all pissed off, so they got this general. Oh crap, there's legendaries over here. They got this general, chained him into a room, and blocked the room off. So it actually is a very interesting story. It's probably one of the shittiest ways to die, in my opinion. It's just slowly get. Oh my goodness, I bet. Dude, that actually is kind of cool how it's a penetrating 50 cal, because 50 cal is basically armor penetration on coke. Dude, 50 cal is scary. It can go through like 12 inches of wood and still keep going to kill you.
Key Edgar on the wine to reinforce this connection.
It's a pretty good short. Cask of Amontillado.
With tweaked values, weights, and crafting.
Okay, hold on. Okay, a Castle Island, South Boston, Massachusetts, and a private station at Fort Independence in 1827. According to legend, he saw a monument. Okay, let's actually see what it was about. Okay, so he heard at Castle Island. He heard a story of Castle Island, South Boston, Massachusetts. When he was a private station at Fort Independence in 1827. According to his legend, he saw a monument. Lieutenant Robert Massey. Historically, Massey had been killed in a sword duel on Christmas Day in 1817 by Lieutenant Gustavus Drain following a dispute during a card game. The legend states other soldiers then took revenge by Drain by getting him drunk, luring him into the dungeon, chaining him to a wall, and sealing him in the vault. This version of Drain's demise is false. Drain was counter-martialed for the killing and acquitted, and lived until 1846. Oh, so he didn't get sealed in. A report of the skeleton discovered on the island was confused, remembering of Poe's major source. It's a very interesting. But yeah, I'm not really a big reader at all, but I love Edgar Allan Poe. He's pretty good. I'm a pretty big Edgar fan.
This all seems to be in an effort to
Okay, guys.
economy and crafting in Fallout 76, and so, on average, the bottles are worth a few caps more, like a bourbon bottle being worth 9 caps compared to 2 in Fallout 4. They typically weigh less, which helps with carry weight, but also provide half as much glass. So beer bottles only yield 1 glass, and the larger bottles, like bourbon, only yields 2. We are getting meta with the so-called junk from Fallout and Fallout 2. And junk is a quest item and is represented by
Junk,
a
just
pile of
an average
items,
junk.
and I can make out pipes, a hose clamp, and that's about it. Somehow, though, according to the game, it also contains a hydropressurization pump,
We're very close to ending the game, which I've had a lot of old. I've actually had a lot of games I could have finished, but I don't because I just don't wanna. Damn, there's a lot of these people. Armored coats. BOS.
Hey, wait there. Come on.
These coats might get a little heavy though. Ooh, 110 cap value, not bad. Oh, there's him. His head's invincible. How heavy is that railroad coat? What? 0 pounds? That's a display glitch, is it? Oh, 26, yeah.
Hey,
Okay, search the sky so that way we can continue the mission.
grab that. Get that.
Get it? Brothers, sisters, everybody in between on the outside of that category. Advance! We do this now, we kill these guys.
Let's do this.
No! A brother has been killed.
Get up.
Add Victorian, my guy.
Hey, get that rifle. Over here. Holt, see if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Move here. Check it out. See if there's anything there.
Holy shit, these guys are pathetic. Wow. These guys are getting ass paved. They don't stand a freaking chance against me. And I'm on survival, by the way.
Hey. Take anything good. Pick that up. Stay there. Take that. See if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out.
Something's out there. They got him.
Holy.
Ceasefire.
Here, life hack. Just take all their shit. And then just take all the stuff and put it into one body. Let's go get down to the... I'm sorry if I'm slow, guys. I just like to take everything because it's Fallout. And why can I take everything? Well, because my mom said, and I do what my mom tells me, so yeah, I guess.
Take anything good.
I should probably stop talking before I say something so cringy that I'll die from it.
Take that. See if he had anything.
Because it's just like, for example, just like 2 Molotovs. Instead of taking 1 Molotov at a time, he'll take all of them.
See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna get chaotic in here. Spamming circle right now. I could probably kill all these guys right now. Boom. Pop one of these bad boys. Oh Christ, I've become addicted. Nope. Can I do this with style? Oh shit. Pull out. Pull out for a second. Sorry, buddy. You gotta go. Yeah, that guy was pumping some rounds out. Drag her and then... Take it. Oh, that's what's weighing me down.
Look alive. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. See if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Here. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. See if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good.
Come on.
Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. See if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out.
Which one do I go for? Up that one, obviously.
All system reset accepted. Awaiting instructions. Ready for programming instructions. Recommend interface type RJ11G.
Pam,
Factory reset mode enabled. Command mode up.
hey, see if she had anything. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Head over there. Grab that. Go there. There. Move out. Get that.
I mean, hey. Speaking of don't tread on me. It's too bad this stuff's all marked as steel. We murder these guys. I think there's actually a payable ending. You can actually only just kill the Institute, and that's it. Yeah, these guys' big weakness is they are not armed. They're actually really weak. I didn't expect them to be this weak. I just dozed right through them. Even without the combat shotgun, I could have destroyed them all.
Don't worry. We'll flush these rats out.
Yeah, explosive combat shotgun, even on survival, is just completely overpowering.
There's coil wire, magnetic vacuum seal, power strip, and 3-pin to 3-pin adapters. Now that's useful. It is a quest item in the first Fallout, and somewhere in that mess of pixels are apparently items needed to fix the Necropolis water pump that has fallen into disrepair. The junk pile also has the parts to fix the hydroponic farms in Adytum that have also stopped working. It is a really convenient pile of parts that can only be found in a few places in Fallout 1, namely Jacob's shop in the hub, in the Necropolis sewers guarded by mole rats, and in the inventory of a merchant found dead in the Deathclaw lair in the Boneyard. Fallout 2 has far more locations where junk can be found, but the junk is not useful for anything else, and is only worth about 40 caps and weighing a hefty 12 pounds, so it is hardly worth lugging around. Oh boy, have I got some things to say about this one. The Metal Pole is a random object that can only be found just outside of the destroyed and caved-in Mariposa military base that was destroyed in the first Fallout game and then re-destroyed by the Enclave in Fallout 2. The Chosen One has to find a way to get into the destroyed entrance. It is filled with destroyed in the first Fallout game and then re-destroyed by the Enclave in Fallout 2. The Chosen One has to find a way to get into the destroyed entrance. It is filled with rock and rubble, so it makes sense that maybe you just need to get some explosives and blow a hole through the rubble. Nope, that's not how you get in. You have to use the minecart that is sitting on some tracks that used to run into the entrance of the base. Go find a random freaking bar that is only visible because Fallout 2 will highlight objects that can be picked up. Attach the pole to the front of the minecart, and then attach the explosives to the front of the pole. Only then are you able to push the cart toward the rubble entrance and for whatever atom-forsaken reason, the explosive can actually blow the rubble away, even though we don't even arm the dynamite when we attach it. How the fuck does pushing a cart with a metal pole tipped with unprimed explosives blow a hole in the rubble while placing any number of explosives in, on, and around the rubble manually doesn't do anything? This was definitely a time when I had to Google how to do something while playing Fallout 2 for the first time, and it had me really wondering what the developers were thinking. As for the metal pole, it gets blown up apparently, and if you decide you don't want to go into the military base, you can carry a 10-pound metal pole that is only worth 5 caps. It's a long metal pole. What did you expect?
I like how it's a
Those were my words,
toolkit.
by the way. That was the word-for-word in-game description of the metal pole. How much more junk can these games possibly have? Hey, the tin can first graced our screens in Fallout 3, where they are the single most common junk item in the entire game, with thousands of them littering the capital wasteland. Weighing 1 pound and having a value of 1 cap, they are only really useful as rocket launcher ammo, and potentially as part of the crafting process for Nuka grenades. Tin cans and the oh-so-incredible bent tin can are the same, except you can't make Nuka grenades out of bent tin cans. Metro Central has the most tin cans of both varieties at over 250, but they are common anywhere food was sold or consumed, as well as in settlements and dwellings. New Vegas treats tin cans much as Fallout 3, but they have a lot more uses. Tin cans, not the bent variety, can be used to create powder charges, Nuka and tin grenades, a Sierra Madre Martini, and with a perk called Junk Rounds, tin cans can be a potential item for creating junk rounds.
Junk
Aerotech
rounds.
Office Park, which is functioning as a refugee camp, has the most cans of any location. In Fallout 4, the tin cans get lighter at 0.1 pounds, and yet again are very common junk items in the world, although there is no place with as many as we saw in Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Faneuil Hall has the most if we count the newly introduced tin can chime alarm, where 9 tin cans are strung up in doorways. There is also, of course, the normal can, which looks just like the tin can, but it's not missing the lid. But given how many holes and rust there is, don't eat whatever was in that. There is a new interesting type though, unrusted tin cans.
I like
That look
unrusted tin
great.
cans.
They are still shiny like the day they were made, and as such are much less common. They are mostly found in places that are in good condition over 200 years after the Great War, like Vault 81 and the Cabot House, which has more than any other location. The thing I find most interesting is that a normal tin can that is all rusted will produce 2 steel when scrapped, while an unrusted tin can will produce 1 steel and 1 aluminum. Where does that aluminum go when it rusts?
Good
And
question.
where does the extra steel come from? Your guess is as good as mine. In Fallout 76, cans are heavier at 0.5 pounds per can rather than 0.1. They're worth 4 caps instead of just 1, and are scrapped into different material. The unrusted tin can is still 1 aluminum and 1 steel, but rusted tin cans are now 2 steel and 1 lead, which doesn't make any more sense than in Fallout 4, but the extra lead is always welcome, I guess. Fallout 4 introduced aluminum cans, and thank Adam it did, because basically all high-end armors and weapons
Yeah, no
require
kidding. I like having all that aluminum in my inventory.
upgrade and maintain. Aluminum cans are easily discernible because they are still rather shiny when compared to tin cans, and are found all over the place, with the most being found in the Mass Pike Tunnel. Worth a cap, weighing 0.1 pounds, they produce 2 aluminum. In Fallout 76,
Captain,
Well, it appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
I wish there'd been
The railroad was providing assistance to escaped synths. Those sympathizers got exactly what they deserved. I'm also pleased you managed to secure Pam, rather than... We are having it brought to the Pridwin, where it will be installed. It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology. Speaking of pre-war technology, congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoria.
GG's. There it is. That should be one of the very last. The beryllium agitator. Okay, we need to go get the beryllium agitator, which should be found in mass fusion. Spoiler alert, they actually just used dirty old fission. They're just liars because that's what pre-war companies did. Anyway, mass fission, fusion, not totally not fission, fusion, not fission. Fission, no, actually fusion. But it's actually fission. Anyway. Liberty Reprime is already done.
There are worth more caps, they're a bit heavier, and they can be scrapped for one aluminum and one lead. I have to wonder why lead is somehow making it into all these cans. Hey Appalachia, how do you like your lead poisoning? In the real world, tin cans were made out of steel or iron and plated with tin until the 1960s, when most tin cans
For the ringer, Paladin. Say that I blame you. That was a hell of a business with Dance. Can't even imagine having to look him in the face and pull the trigger.
Believe me, it wasn't easy.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm sorry you had to be the one to handle the dirty work. We need to move on to more important things now. Getting Wiccan strong off on life. We've been beaten in power with Britain's engines, but there isn't nearly as deep cold-blooded fusion yet. That's why we need you to find us a beryllium agitator.
How can the beryllium agitator start up his reactor?
If Prime's reactor is a campfire, the beryllium agitator is like a match. Strike it, throw it on the logs, and the whole thing ignites. Fusion reactors need a massive power surge in order to get the reaction started. Once it starts, it's self-sustaining. I'm sure I could get one of my scribes to bore you to death with the details, but you can...
I'm betting you know right where to find it.
Of course I do. I'm head of ship maintenance just because my brother Quinlan dug up some dirt on a company called Mass Fusion. They're a power utility for the world is belly up. CEO is some kind of an inventor. Dreamed up all sorts of nuclear power toys. The agitator was his crown jewel. Records show he was working on it in his lab at the top of their high-rise in the financial district. That's where we're headed. Hope you don't mind a little company, because I'm coming with you.
Why would you want to go?
Are you kidding me? Mass fusion is on the cutting edge of atomic technology. And considering there hasn't been much in the way of engineering advancements lately, it makes it a goddamn gold mine. I'm not gonna miss an opportunity like that.
No one.
Okay, I have you walking around with metal rods shoved into my spine, but I can still take care of myself.
Fair enough. It would be helpful to have you along.
I knew you'd see it my way. Kels has a vertibird on standby, waiting to drop us off on the roof of the mass fusion tower. Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. If the Institute finds out the agitator's there, they'll do everything they can to keep it out of my hands.
That's how Brotherhood got to the mass fusion place. I went there on my Institute playthrough, and they were like all in the place before we were. We must have went from ground up. They must have went from top down.
Excuse me, Dr. Keegan.
Here, my turn. Yep, here, get out of my way. My turn. Hey, buddy, you got any shoddy shells? And I have one more question. Got any apps on your phone? You got any games on your phone? How many shotgun shells you got? 17. You have 17. Ugh. That's ass, dog. Need more shotgun shells. Need more shotgun shells. There's a technical document sitting right there. Wow. That is not a whole lot of shotgun shells. How could you tell he's a synth? There's no way! Unless you killed him? And you consider me a traitor. I'm sorry, I have another one. It makes you sick them out, like how they turned on him.
Hostile target sighted on the roof, sir. Prepare to engage.
Damn synths are crawling all over the place. Send them out before we drop.
You guys are gonna be so screwed. I regret teaming with you for my first ever playthrough of the game. The minigun is so weak.
Taking too much damage, sir. I'll get us above the roof so you can bail out.
Oh, excuse me? Yes! Must kill!
Go, go!
Go, go, go! Move out, move out! Oh shit, I'm dying. I'm getting my ass handed to me. Hide, hide. Get out! Did that guy get falling off the roof? He's dead. They're dead.
Hey, over there.
Hey, I'm doing your job. I'm just recovering all technology.
Hey.
Get every piece of these. Oh, that's good that I'm actually up here. Mass Fusion Executive Lab password.
That's gonna come in handy.
I think so as well. I'm on your side there. Oh,
Going down.
now, just as I suspect, this place was swarming with BOS people when I was in the Institute, and I guess it's going to be swarming with Institute people going in as the Brotherhood. I'd rather fight Institute since and BOS Knights. Let me tell you. I've only done this quest once. I could have done it multiple other times, but yes. Holy.
Threat neutralized.
Yeah, blew his arm down.
Detonated explosive charge.
What the hell?
They've knocked out the power to the elevators.
Oh my, is that Furious Lead Pipe? Well, I'm actually being honest, that's the first time I've seen a lead.
Engaging hostiles. The agitator's still here. Let's keep moving. We've got a lot of building to cover. This place has seen better days, hasn't it?
Nice.
Might not be as cushy as the elevator, but at least we'll be headed in the right direction.
Sensor anomaly detected.
Holy shit. No!
Under attack.
You cannot escape detection for long.
Ooh, there could be a bunch of technical documents and.
Reveal yourself. By orders of the Institute, you must be destroyed. Are you attempting an ambush? Systems offline.
I wonder where my robot is. Because I'm really heavy on this shit and I really want to offload it.
Has disappeared. Now I understand. You are hiding because you fear death.
What the hell?
I am equipped with the most advanced Institute sensors available. I will find you. Scanning. Your destruction is inevitable.
Where are you guys?
I know you are still there.
I did not even see that. Hold on. Ew. Thank you. It was really nice to actually watch you abandon me. Don't everybody come all down here at once. Oh, there she is. Yeah, there we go. And boom. Stop pushing!
Hey, hold up. Moving out. Take that. See if she had anything. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. See if she had anything. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if he had anything worth taking. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. Wait there. See if she had anything. Grab anything useful. Over here. Heads up. See if he had anything worth taking. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. See if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Proctor Ingram?
I could spend years looking at the tech in this place, but we've still got work to do.
I didn't know I had a level to put my Pip-Boy. The Action Boy 3. Sorry for all that delay, it's just these robots do not like to do what I tell them to do.
Get that. Pick that up. Move here. Take that. Here. Grab any. Go check that out. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Take anything good. Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. Grab anything useful. Check it out. Head over there. See if there's anything there.
Stop blocking me!
Yes.
Yes. Huh?
Proctor Ingram.
Amazing that this tower's still standing. Amazing that this tower's still standing. It stays that way while we're here.
There it is.
Mass fusion's reacting. Make 'em like that anymore.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
It's pretty dangerous. Do you have enough radiation protection on?
Yes. This is one of the most radioactive places in Fallout as a whole. Ooh. Yay, finally.
Look alive. Grab that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. Grab that. Get that pistol. Take that weapon.
Radiation levels are dangerously high in there. Let me know if you need any radiation
Get that.
protection. I'll communicate with you through their intercom system while I monitor everything from out here.
Pick that up. Take that. Get that. Pick that up. Take that. See if he had anything worth taking. Grab anything useful. Check it out. See if there's anything there. Heads up. On me. Go there. Grab that. Buckle up. Get that. Nice. Proctor.
This building's a mess. The agitator's still here.
I have it on me.
This place has seen better days, that's for sure.
Pick that up. Take that. Grab that. Get that.
Mm-mm.
Pick that up.
Shutting down.
Hey, take that. Grab that. Get that. There. Pick that up.
instead made out of aluminum. In the games, aluminum cans are much less common than just the normal tin can, so it seems this switch didn't happen in the Fallout universe. We get coffee tins in Fallout 4,
Coffee
all
tin.
of them branded with the Slocum's Joe name and mascot, showing just how popular Slocum's was in the Boston area during the pre-war. On the back is an honestly pretty creepy face of a child, and one entirely too young to be the face of a coffee shop. There is a so-called clean coffee tin that does seem to be in better condition. A coffee tin is worth only 3 caps. The clean one is double that at 6, and they are both 1 pound and scrappable for 2 aluminum. Although tins can be found in many different locations, there aren't usually more than 1 or 2 in any given place. They're also found in Fallout 76, although the normal coffee tin is not Slocum Joe's branded anymore. Now it's a white tin with a red lid that just says coffee on the front, although the clean coffee tin is the same Slocum's Joe tin from Fallout 4. Interestingly, everything else about them is the same from Fallout 4, including the weight, cap value, and the 2 aluminum scrap value. Among the elite junk items, namely bottles and cans, that are numbered in thousands across the various wastelands, destroyed books are able to hang in there as one of the most common junk items that we can find. And now you're going to sit there and hear me talk about it, because y'all made me do this, and misery loves company. Starting in Fallout 3, they come in a number of varieties. There are burned books, destroyed books, ruined books, scorched books, in both small and large sizes. And I'm curious, what makes a book burned as opposed to scorched, or destroyed instead of ruined? Give me answers, Bethesda. Despite the fact that books are apparently no longer legible, they have a value of 1 cap and weigh 1 pound, even the small varieties. New Vegas has all the same unusable books, but the Old World Blues add-on finally gives them a use. They can be fed to the automated book chute in Old World Blues, and yes, fed is the most apt description, since the book chute eagerly destroys any and all books it is provided, since it thinks books promote communism and subversive thought. It pulps the destroyed books and turns them into new blank books, which can be used to create skill books or magazines with the right perks. Fallout 4 similarly had burned books, but also burned comics, magazines, and textbooks. But only the books have 0 scrap value, and are even more useless since they can't be used as ammo in the junk jet. Weirdly enough, in Fallout 4, ruined books are weightless, and burnt books are 1 pound. Where destroyed books are completely worthless, burned magazines and comics are actually worth 1 cap, and completely weightless, and would be an easy way to get a few caps if they were just more common, which sadly they're not unless you're in a location like Hubris Comics. Fallout 76 is more consistent. Burned books and textbooks are worth 1 cap and weigh 1 pound, while burned comics and magazines weigh 0.1 pounds and are worth 1 cap each. They all can now be scrapped for 1 cloth, finally giving them a use outside of being junk jet ammo. Not all books are destroyed though. In Fallout 3, there are blue and green pre-war books that have been able to survive. The blue version is the rarest, and only 4 are found in the Broken Steel and Point Lookout DLCs. Since they are rarer, they are worth 5 caps compared to the green books, which are more numerous and only worth 1 cap. The rare blue ones are considered junk though, and cannot be turned in like the green ones to the Brotherhood of Steel. The green ones can be used as rocket launcher ammo, but they're far more useful as a quest item for the Brotherhood. When you meet Scribe Yearling at the Arlington Library, she will offer 100 bottle caps for pre-war books, and the player will get 10 XP per book returned. Crazy Wolfgang the Merchant will sell the junk blue pre-war books, but like a lot of his merchandise, there isn't much point in buying them. Unsurprisingly, the Arlington Library has more pre-war books than any other location in game. New Vegas has more intact pre-war books than any other game, and has several colored varieties like brown, and dark blue. I would venture a guess that all the preserved books are a result of New Vegas surviving the Great War without taking any direct hits. All are worth 1 cap except for that one peculiar blue kind, the same one from Fallout 3 that is worth 5. The expensive blue kind is the most rare too. There are only 7 in the whole game, counting all DLCs, with the most being at the Dino D-Light Motel. The Lucky 38 penthouse has the most pre-war books of any kind, well over 200, but not all of them are lootable. Just like the burned books, pre-war books can be turned into blank books by the book chute in Old World Blues. Fallout 4 has overdue books, which are preserved or somewhat preserved pre-war books that weigh less than destroyed books at 0.5 pounds and are worth 2 caps. The real use of these, however, is to be collected and returned to book return machines, where they will dispense 5 book return tokens, which in turn can be used for rewards. Most of these rewards are benign and pretty useless, but some machines can give the player weapons or chems as a reward. The Boston Public Library has the most of any
Look, these guys got food paste on them.
Can be found in over 40 locations, and merchants will sometimes sell them. We are about to talk about Manila folders. What has my life come to? Folders are spread throughout Fallout 4 in many locations. They weigh nothing and are worth 1 cap, so it could be a good way to get a few spare caps with merchants. Otherwise, it is completely useless as it cannot be scrapped or used in the junk jet. Hallucinogen is the location with the most folders, hopefully containing plenty of documents that talk about how freaking messed up they are. Fallout 76 changes this though, giving folders a weight, keeping the 1 cap value, but now it can be reduced to plain cloth for crafting. Yep, this is happening. Napkins have survived the 200 years since the Great War in Boston, where they can be found mostly in the Cabot House, but they are otherwise not that useful. It cannot be shot from the junk jet or scrapped, but it is worth 1 cap and it weighs nothing. So they could be useful if you could really find many of these lying around, which you can't. In Fallout 76, we get the napkin that has a weight of 0.1 pounds and a worth of 1 cap, but can also be reduced to cloth, with the most being found in the White Spring Golf Club. Black napkins fetch 2 caps instead of 1, and were for a Halloween-themed dinner, just like the orange napkins that, other than the color, are identical. The black and orange napkins are found mostly at the Watoga High School, along with a bunch of other Halloween decorations. Clothes hangers are the items that I'll be coming after you all with, and are only found in Fallout 4 and 76. They're just a basic metal wire hanger. What more do you want? Worth 1 cap and weighing half a pound, these can be reduced to 1 steel for crafting, with the most being found at Fallon's department store. In Fallout 76, it is exactly the same as in Fallout 4, with the most being found at the White Spring Golf Club. Scrap metal was introduced in Fallout 3, and is a bit like the junk pile that we see in the first Fallout and Fallout 2. This time it is a bunch of metal bits, pipes, pins, sheets, and a gear that itself is only worth 1 cap and weighs only 1 pound, but its real use lies in the handful of small quests. The outcasts can strike a deal with the player that if they are brought desirable technology or mechanical parts, they will trade ammo or chems. They do accept scrap metal, calling it borderline junk, in groups of 2, and will trade either 12 rounds of 5.56 ammo, 1 frag grenade, or 1 RadAway or stim pack for a pair. Interestingly, scrap metal was originally called spare parts, and this old name still exists in the dialogue with Protector Kasdan. Megaton's handyman, Walter, will request scrap metal in order to keep the leaky hunk of junk that is known as the Megaton infrastructure in working order. He will reward 10 caps per unit of scrap metal, but if the Lone Wanderer insists that he take it for free, then 10 points of good karma is rewarded instead. Alternatively, Winthrop, the underworld handyman, will also ask for scrap metal and give the player stim packs, RadAway, or RadX, and he takes scrap metal in groups of 5. Lastly, in the Pit DLC, there is an ammo press inside of the mill that, when fed scrap metal, can produce useful ammunition. In New Vegas, scrap metal similarly has a number of uses outside of its pathetic resale value. Scrap metal is required in order to craft a weapon repair kit, which can be extremely useful using unconventional weapons, or it can be broken down into lead at a reloading bench, so apparently a good chunk of that metal there is lead. Perhaps the pipes we see in the model. One way to fix Eddie is to use 3 scrap metals, along with the scrap electronics and 2 sensor modules. Jack, a member of the Boomers, is always looking for scrap metal, and the courier will get extra Boomer fame for each unit of scrap metal that they give to him, even if you're just stealing the scrap metal from right there in the hangar. Just remember to be sneaky. Oh, they caught me. And they don't care. Okay. Finally, the quest that has the courier helping the Camp McCarran mess hall has the option of fixing a food processor using 5 pieces of scrap metal and a bunch of other things. Seriously, I'm not gonna say them all, it would take too long. Additionally, the Honest Hearts DLC gave us a way to create scrap metal with a repair skill of 25 or higher. You can use either a metal cooking pan, a metal cooking pot, and a normal pot, or you use a group that consists of a butter knife, a fork, a metal spoon, and a tin plate, which all together can make one scrap metal. Scrap metal isn't exactly rare though, and many piles can be found in many locations, with the RevCon test site being the most of any location. New Vegas is the only game with scrap electronics, which appears to have some vacuum tubes and a coil of wire with some green PCBs underneath. Although not as common as scrap metal, they can be found in several locations and even bought from merchants. It can be used to help repair Eddie and get him working again, but is also used to create a bunch of craftable items like time bombs, weapon repair kits, gas bombs, fat mines, and microfusion subclusters, which is an energy-based explosive. A white and red striped paper soda cup is another world object that can be found in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, although they are only set dressing and cannot be looted. Isn't your life so much better knowing this information? A Nuka-Cola branded cup was introduced in the Nuka World DLC and is a simple paper cup with a Nuka-Cola logo on the outside. As such, it is only found in Nuka World, with the most being found in the Kitty Kingdom part of the park. It weighs 1 pound, which is enormously heavy for a paper cup, has a value of 1 cap, and can be scrapped for 1 cloth. The variant with a straw and lid is less common, but can be scrapped for 1 cloth and 1 plastic, but is otherwise identical to the normal cup. The Nuka-Cola cup pack is a stack of 8 cups, and, this is my favorite part, still only weighs 1 pound, is still only worth 1 cap, and somehow gets scrapped for 1 cloth and 1 plastic, even though there are 8 cups and no straws or lids. Literally unplayable. All these soda cup variants exist in Fallout 76 as well, in much the same manner, weight-wise, value-wise, and scrap-wise. The aluminum canister is a worn red container for liquids first introduced in Fallout 4. It weighs 3 pounds and is worth 12 caps, but if broken down into its scrap parts becomes 2 aluminum, 2 fiberglass, and oil, all of which can be sold for a sum of 20 caps. So the sum of the parts are worth more than the entire unit. I guess the question as to what it used to contain is solved, since oil is one of the things that are produced when scrapped. In Fallout 76, the canister has the same 12 cap value, but weighs 1.5 pounds and only produces 1 aluminum, 1 fiberglass, and 1 oil, and is otherwise just less common to come across. Along with the aluminum canister, we have an aluminum oil can. That is apparently not aluminum at all, because when scrapped it turns into 2 oil and 1 steel. It is a very uncommon item. It is worth 0.5 pounds and worth 12 caps. The more common oil can is worth 15 caps, but weighs the same, and this one does scrap to aluminum and 4 oils, even though it has aluminum nowhere in the name and has very visible rust associated with iron or steel. The used oil can is yet another variant. It looks less rusted.
No time to waste.
Proctor,
Glad to see you're still in one piece.
I wouldn't have made it without your help.
That's funny. Anyway, we shouldn't stand around here talking. Well, this is it. The moment of truth. We've pre-programmed Liberty Prime's battle coordinates into his navigational processor. As soon as he's under his own power, he'll head straight for the Institute. Elder Maxon wants you to follow, and make sure he arrives at the CIT in one piece. I've checked every wire.
Right. We don't need luck, Ingram. We've got you.
I didn't do it alone. Look, I discussed it with Elder Maxon. We think you should be the one who has the honor of just plug the beryllium. Good luck, Paladin. It's much more interesting working with you, scouring for ruins.
Where did my robot go?
So like less used, I don't know. but is worth only 2 caps rather than 12.
Is this like the last
Caps
quest, I
with
think?
1 oil and 1...
And if it is the final, one of the final quests.
All systems go. Clear for takeoff. Weapons hot, ready to bring the pain, sir.
I should have mentioned, like maybe the auto docks should have been on the list. Let me know in the comment. Can is worth 15 caps, but weighs the same, and this one does scrap to aluminum and 4 oils. Less rusted, so like less used, I don't know, but is worth only 2 caps rather than 12. It scraps to 1 oil and
Video game addiction lawyers long lives have been derailed by the video game addiction. Dude, they have a PS3 controller. Dog. Huh? And that's a PS3. It looks like PS4 and 3 controller. It looks like a really bad AI generated controller.
steel. So it looks like most of the value for these is tied
I think there's better things to address than quote unquote video game
There's also
addiction.
a canister that is much larger and scraps for 2 oil and steel and is worth 12 caps. There's an industrial oil canister, which looks a bit different and is aluminum rather than steel and worth more caps. In Fallout 76, they fixed the aluminum can. It now produces 1 aluminum and 2 oil, having a value of 13 caps and weighing only half a pound. Interestingly, the normal oil can also produces 1 aluminum and 2 oil with a much higher value of 19 caps. The used oil can scraps to 1 oil and steel like before, with a much reduced value at 5 caps, but somehow weighs more than the other 2 types. But maybe that's because it's steel and not aluminum. I really hope you like canisters, because we're not done yet, and you have no one but yourself to blame. In Fallout 4, we got a gas canister that has most of the red paint peeled off, and has some gas or fumes inside still because they will explode if shot at, although it can take a few shots. The canister is worth 10 caps and weighs 3 pounds and can scrap into 1 oil and 3 steel. If exploded, however, it cannot be picked up, scrapped, or even moved, and will even float in the air. In Fallout 76, it is worth only 7 caps, weighs the same, and yields 1 fewer steel. Since these canisters can explode, they are often used in and around traps, and can easily damage limbs in the explosion. It is worth asking though, is the gas in these canisters from the pre-war? Gasoline breaks down fairly quickly, and any pre-war gasoline would have been long gone by now. However, considering the lack of oil and gas in the pre-war, it is possible these are filled with another oily, flammable substance that is more stable. Speaking of flammable, in Fallout 76 we get acetone canisters that look similar to what we have seen before, and interestingly the side of the container says Red Rocket High Grade Oil, so it appears to be a caps and is 0.8 pounds and breaks down into copper and steel, and that copper can be quite useful for crafting. It is a simple red plastic container that holds, wouldn't you know it, antifreeze. It can be reduced to 2 acid and 2 plastic, but is also required as a complete unit to make several items. 2 syringer ammo types require an entire antifreeze bottle, like the Berserk syringe and the Yellow Belly syringe, while completing the main quest for the Brotherhood of Steel, because they need more reactor coolant to keep the Prid one aloft. There is a name brand antifreeze called Suprathaw that is green and yields 4.
Proctor Ingram?
That agitator plugged in. Big guy's stuck.
Prime. Full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Mission. The destruction of any and all Chinese communists. Probability of Chinese victory. Impossible.
Brotherhood, salute!
Ad Victorian.
I'm Victoria!
Proceeding to target coordinates.
Hell yeah, I've never actually done this in the game.
Is the sovereign right of every American. Democracy is non-negotiable. Designation: Liberty Prime. Operational assessment. All systems nominal. Primary directive: war.
Oh boy.
Democracy is non-negotiable. Operating at 100%.
Oh hell yes. Bam!
Defending life, liberty,
In the pursuit of happiness.
of happiness.
Zap him!
Alaska's liberation is imminent.
Holy shit.
Proceeding as planned. Communism
Oh.
is alive. Glory is the reward. Obstruction detected. Overland travel to target. Probability of mission hindrance: 32%. Revised stratagem initiated. Aquatic transit protocol activated. Probability of mission hindrance: 0%. Democracy is truth. Communism is death. Anchorage will be liberated. Mission proceeding as planned.
Help me, I'm in the daughter. Yes.
Target down.
Hey there.
If Elder Max wanted me to
sovereign right of every American. Memorial site recognized.
Rod still salute.
Patriotism subroutines. Engage.
What a good dude.
Honoring the fallen is the duty of every red-blooded American. Communism is the very definition of failure. I am Liberty Pride. I am America.
Holy. Are you kidding me? Guys, hold on. There's a legendary that died here. I don't know where he is. And I really want to loot him. Badass robot. Boom. That sound. Should have took his head off.
Communist engaged.
Dude, these guys have to be shitting bricks right now. Dude, he crushes people when he walks over that. I didn't even notice that. Holy shit.
I am Liberty Prime. I am America. Only together can we stop the spread of communism.
All out war over here.
Birthplace of American freedom.
Standing down.
Objective reached. Scanning defenses. Subterranean. Obstruction depth. 5 meters. Opposition
As American as he claims to be, he likes to use meters.
and communism.
Sand, gravel, and communism.
Tactical. Reach compound to restore democracy. All personnel should move to minimum safe distance. Embrace democracy, or you will be eradicated.
Keep those ships away from Prime, soldier!
I think that's good, son.
Lead us to victory, Paladin.
Obstruction eliminated. Ground unit.
Move in! Destroy these guys! I should have brought my fair hand. Wait, I do have Psycho and Jet.
The mission is proceeding as planned, Paladin. Well done. At Victoria now.
Elder,
Let's get this done, Paladin. We're gonna blow this place back to hell.
Yeah, I would say they would probably shut down the elevator. Wait, it's only 5 meters down. I felt like the answer would be like several, like dozen meters down. Only 5 meters.
This is the Institute. Discovery. I expected more from them.
Well, does it look like I care?
What was that?
Hey, line of fire!
I swore I heard something. Area secure.
Is someone
Oh my god. That's embarrassing. No, he touched me. We have to kill him. He just touched me. I'm filing for harassment clause. And it's survival too, so... God damn it! Not saving is so annoying. Oh, now you show up. Now you show up. Thanks, dude. You were way too late. I knew I should have been looking out more for those stupid ass laser turrets. Those blue ones, they tear right through you even if you have really good armor on. It's such a pain in the ass. Yes, that's my Lego turbine.
Mission: the destruction of any and all Chinese communists. Probability of Chinese victory: impossible.
Brotherhood, salute!
And Victorium! Proceeding to target coordinates. Freedom is the sovereign right of the man. Democracy is non-negotiable. Accessing dictionary database. Entry: democracy. A form of government in which the leader is chosen by vote, and everyone has equal rights.
That was a waste.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory.
Impossible. Stop. No, stop! Stop! Come here!
Initiating directive 7395. Destroy all obstructions detected. Overload travel to target. Compromised.
I love how I'm just trading and I can just hear the Liberty Prime just kicking ass in the background.
Mission hindrance 32%. Revised stratagem initiated. Aquatic transit protocol activated. Probability of mission hindrance 0%. Democracy is truth.
Communism is death.